That's a good question. One of the main things we'll walk through with the safety bar is just the features that you'll notice. Features that you'll notice right away. So some of the few things that we mentioned as well with the camber. The camber will be this bend down within the bar, so it's going to shift. It's going to be lower down. It's going to be closer towards my center of gravity, and it's going to shift the way more anterior. Okay. Any kind of barbell back work, whether it's high bar, low bar, that's going to be posterior in through there. So this is going to shift it more anterior. Better center of gravity. You'll notice the back pads right away. So back pad and the two shoulder pads that we mentioned earlier. When we're grabbing onto it, I was grabbed on into this neutral position here with the shoulders. This is going to be a lot more favorable than someone trying to externally rotate. I may not have that range of motion within my shoulder to come out and under the bar in through there as well.
That's right.
So that's going to be another favorable aspect for it. The pads that I mentioned, it's going to make the upper back work a little bit harder as well. This is going to sit a little bit higher than we may be used to. Right. If we're not used to more of like that kind of upper back work in through there. Right. And just with the amounts that's going to be coming down. So as I mentioned, that's kind of shifting more anterior. The pad's going to be here. That's going to place more stress on our traps. So we're going to work a little bit harder. It's protecting our lower back. So we're going to be in a little bit more of an upright position, but the upper back's going to be working harder to kind of stabilize that in through there. Yeah, it's a nice way to kind of vary off your squat, as I mentioned, with the stability for the shoulders to be in a better neutral position in through there. Sometimes when you're squatting very heavy with that amount of external rotation within the shoulder, it's not gonna, heavy back squats may not feel as well. This will protect us a little bit more. This will feel more challenging. As I mentioned, it's forcing that upright posture, even though we are more stable across the back. We're gonna be a little bit more upright as well. So we're not gonna be able to go traditionally as heavy for the weights and the reps as you would for a traditional back squat. So that's something to be mindful of when we're first setting up on there. If we've never done anything like that before, we're going to have to set that in accordingly as well. So just that more of that upright position for the posture. We can think about the sport application for that as well, for individuals training as well. So whether it's like hockey, basketball, we're in more of a ready stance. So like when I am squatting traditionally, I am in a little bit more of an upright posture. Right. Anyway, if I had longer legs, I may be down more here. As long as that spine's neutral, that's okay. But this is going to force us into be more of that upright posture too. Okay. That different like axial load within the spine is going to change things as well, especially with the position of the pad as well.
Get used to the form.
I would always get used to it and make sure, because it's going to feel like quite different just having that kind of translation, especially if you've never front squatted, if you've never goblet squatted with like a dumbbell or a kettlebell in through there as well. This will be a little bit of a departure for. You mentioned something similar about like the kind of micro loading, so like kind of transition point coming off of a goblet squat, whether you're loading with a dumbbell, you're loading with a kettlebell. So what's great about that too is having the pad on through here as well, because some people might not. I've worked with a lot of kids, like younger athletes, that initial discomfort, even just outside of front squat. Front squat bothers people to no degree, whether I'm going that X kind of cross arm or I'm into that parallel arm position, the wrist position. Yeah. So getting into a bit of a heavier load, as you mentioned, outside of, hey, I can't support this weight with my arms, or my core is giving way holding on to this heavy dumbbell, this heavy kettlebell. How do I set that up? This will be a nice kind of bridge between a front squat for those individuals, and just getting used to having the bar on across the back as well. So I think that's kind of a nice transition point for a lot of people, because that does bother quite a few people, especially when the weight load's getting heavier. Yeah.